I'm actually going to begin with what you ended your piece with, where you say the Wayanad tragedy is a stark reminder of the delicate balance between nature and human activity. It's something which seems very profound and obvious, but something we seem to be forgetting. I want to understand from your perspective where we've gone wrong.
So, Tamanna, the challenge is that whatever we do, all our activities have to be compatible with sustainability. And what we are witnessing, not merely in Wayanad or the Western Ghats, but even in the Himalayan states of Uttarakhand, Himachal, is reckless construction. What we are seeing is huge amount of road construction, tunnel construction, major projects going on, and more than that, huge imprint of the human element, which is impacting the ecology without any scientific study of the carrying capacity of the region. So it's very important that in all these areas, these are very, very sensitive areas, particularly the Western Ghats, which figure amongst the one of the 8 biodiversity hotspots in the world. Wayanad, for instance, has some of the rarest natural reserves. It has some of the most beautiful mountains. It has some of the most beautiful wildlife parks. But all this, and I've lived a very long innings of my life in Kerala, and I was the district collector in the neighboring district of Calicut, and I was a very frequent visitor to Wayanad, and my heart really breaks out, and I feel very devastated because Wayanad was actually almost close to 85% green dense forest. In 1950, 85% green dense forest. There has been a 62% decline in green dense forest, and that has been replaced by a huge amount of plantation crops. So what you've seen in recent times is greenery in the form of rubber plantation, tea plantation and coffee plantation replacing green dense forest. Yeah. So you've seen a 62% decline in green dense forest, but an 1800% increase in plantation crops. Now, plantation crops are not able to keep the soil firm enough, and the soil gets very badly degraded. And therefore, you're seeing when flash floods happen, and you see huge amount of construction taking place, they have very, very adverse impact on the region, and that is what is happening in Wayanad. But a similar story can be seen in exactly the same story of landslides and flash floods occurring in Uttarakhand and Himachal as a consequence of our lack of scientific study and our inability to do good scientific construction based on carrying capacity of the region.
So you're absolutely right, Mr. Kant. We've seen this in Uttarakhand, we have seen this in Himachal, we have seen this in many other areas of the country. I mean, our cities get flooded, but that's a slightly different issue, and I'll come to that in a bit. My question is, number one, who is responsible? And I don't mean this from a political blame game kind of point of view. You are someone who's seen the inside of how government machinery works, how it all functions. And the layman thinks, oh, it's all corruption. People go for permissions. They're given permissions to do whatever they want. There is no ecological survey. Anyone is building just anywhere. We keep using the word rampant construction. I want to understand how it actually happens. How do we get to a messy state like what we've seen in, for example, a Wayanad?
So the important thing is that in all these regions, the power to give clearances for authority to give clearances for construction is vested with the local panchayat. And in some of the other regions, it's vested where there are municipalities, they are vested with the municipalities, elected municipalities. Now, neither the panchayats or the elected municipalities have any knowledge of either the carrying capacity of the region or they have any scientific studies available with them. So they go on recklessly giving clearances for all construction. All construction, wherever required, anybody seeking permission is given a construction permit. And therefore, what you are witnessing in some of the most sensitive areas of Uttarakhand, what you are seeing in some of the most hilly areas of Himachal, and in Uttarakhand, permission being given away freely to anybody seeking permission without any formal study of carrying capacity. So, firstly, my belief is that in many of these regions which are ecologically sensitive, the power and the authority to give construction clearances and permits on hilly slopes, on very sensitive regions, etc., where the degree of slope is more than 20 degrees, and in all ecologically sensitive areas, actually must be taken away from the panchayats and the municipalities, and that clearance should be vested in a committee which has the knowledge and the power, either at the state or the central government, which has a broader perspective of sustainable development of the region. So firstly, take out the authority, the power to give clearances for construction. While